What I want to teach you today is the proper way to reverse diet. This is a topic that has been beaten to death. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who still do it incorrect. And even more unfortunately, there is a ton of people who fear the reverse diet process because, as most of you watching this know, as you increase calories after a diet, weight gain is pretty likely to happen, and that scares you because you just worked your ass off trying to lose that weight. And now I'm telling you that you have to increase calories and potentially gain weight. But I'm going to go over some of the reasons why this is so important for you to do for your health, for your hormones, and for your future fat loss success. And I'm going to show you the right way to do it as simply as I possibly can to make sure that you do it right next time after your diet is finished. So typically what people normally do during a classic reverse diet is far different than this. What you see here is your calories dropping during the diet, right? When we take calories down, our weight follows. So the dotted line is weight, the solid line is calories. When we drop our calories down over a 4-month period, as you see here, our weight loss is successful. We have weight loss because calories in versus calories out it's science, it's thermodynamics. We can't debunk that. If you drop calories and go into a deficit, you will lose weight. It's good, it's great. Once we get there, we might maintain and hang out down there for a little bit just to make sure, like, okay, did we get these results? Are they solidified? Are they staying here? Are we sustaining it? Yes, we are. Perfect. Now we're going to start the reverse diet process. And what you would typically see in a reverse diet setting is a very slow increase as such. Right? This is months and months and months. This is where somebody's adding 5 to 10 grams of carbs per week. The problem with that is that you never get out of this metabolically adapted or hormonally adapted place. When we go this slow, our body is also adapting at a slow pace, just like it did on the way down. So as we diet lower and lower and our metabolism and our hormones adapt to having less and less calories, we have this low energy availability. We kind of get dysfunctional. Well, the only way to reverse this is to get the hell out of the deficit. But if you take super long to get there and you go slow, you're actually just prolonging the deficit. You're going to be in the deficit for longer because this whole process of reverse dieting, let's say this is 6 months, you're in the deficit still there. Now you're finally out of the deficit. What does that mean? That means that's 4 or 5 more months after the diet is done that you're still in a deficit and not at maintenance getting healthy, which means that your 4-month cut turned into 8 months, 9 months, and now you're even deeper in the hole of this adaptation. So what can we do to avoid this? Well, the first thing we need to do is aggressively jump up our calories right out the gate, right? So during this diet, we might go slow, we might go fast. Either way, we're going to bump calories up rather quickly. And what I tend to do is go, if my maintenance starting was 2,000, let's say, and we dropped all the way down to 1,000, which is pretty damn low, but for easy math, I'm going to stick with 2 and 1,000. We dropped from 2,000 to 1,000 over the course of a diet to make sure we lose fat. We're not going to jump calories back up to 2,000 because metabolic adaptation did occur and you were at a lower weight. So not only did your metabolism adapt to less calories as you dieted, but you literally have less mass on Earth. You are lighter as an individual, and because of that, you burn less calories day to day just surviving, right? So you don't need as many calories. So we might bump all the way up to 1,600, 1,700. That's a 500 to 600 calorie jump. That's significant, and you're definitely out of that deficit. You might not be all the way at your true maintenance, but you're definitely out of the deficit and you're probably in your maintenance range, which means these metabolic adaptations, these hormonal adaptations, this increase of cortisol starts to decline, this decrease of testosterone starts to increase back up, thyroid function starts to be more regular. When we do this, it's only happening because of that calorie increase being aggressive and we're getting out of the deficit faster. Once we do that, now we can take the 5 to 10 grams of carbs per week approach where we're going really, really slow and just taking baby steps up, more likely hoping our body adapts slowly so that we can maintain the weight loss that we had without gaining extra fat. And what you'll see here is that you do gain weight when you start a reverse diet. So this dotted line is the weight that you lost, went down with the calories, and then we jumped calories up. Guess what? You gained some weight. But you started up here, and you only gained it right here, which means you probably gained a few pounds. But we need to remember a few things. Number one, if we intake more carbohydrates because we are increasing calories during a reverse, our body is storing more water. Every 1 gram of carb holds 3 to 4 grams of water, which means if we add 50 grams of carbs, we are adding 150 to 200 grams of water, which means the scale is going to weigh more. But guess what? Those carbohydrates and that water is most likely stored in the muscle cell, which means that you'll probably look leaner and you'll probably look better and you'll feel better in the gym. So it's good weight, but you need to make sure you're not only paying attention to the scale. Reason number 2, when we consume more food, period, we are more likely consuming more sodium because there's more food available to potentially have sodium on it. When we have more sodium, guess what? We retain a little bit more water. Usually we're storing water in a good place because our muscles need the sodium, the electrolytes, the minerals as well. But nonetheless, you're going to retain a little bit more water because of the sodium as well. And last but not least, you have more food in your gut. You have more gut volume, which means I am taking in more food, meaning I'm storing more food before it passes through me, and that's going to weigh down the scale as well. So it might not be any fat at all. You reverse diet, you do it right, you aggressively increase your calories, you feel amazing, but you gain 3 pounds. It is okay. It's most likely carbohydrates, food bulk, and water being retained, and that's normal. You don't want to stay way down here. You want that initial weight gain because it means you fueled yourself and you got more calories in you. And then we might see some small increases up. And if we start seeing a big increase up towards the tail end of that reverse, that's when we know we probably overshot our calories during the reverse and we probably need to bring it back down. So if we shot up here, we might need to bring it back down just to level out that weight. But what you can see here is that we are going to drop calories down significantly to get to a deficit. That's the part of it. We're going to sustain that for a very short period of time to make sure that we truly are sustaining the result we got. And then we're going to increase calories pretty rapidly to start reversing some of those effects and just get you feeling better. Just get you starting moving more closer to maintenance and having your biofeedback be normal. I want your stress normal. I want your performance, your recovery, your sleep, your hormones, your cortisol levels, everything to be more normalized as soon as possible, and that's only going to come with an aggressive approach. We also know that we're going to gain a little bit of weight, and that's just part of the reverse diet. So if we look at these bullet points to kind of wrap this up, initial increase must be semi-aggressive. There's no scale or exact number or percentage I can tell you here because everybody's different. The adaptation process during a diet is different for everybody. But what we can say is that you should probably be somewhere in between dead center, if not a little bit above dead center of where you're at now and where you once were. So again, if you dieted to 1,500 calories and you used to be at 2,500 calories, you need to go to at least 2,000 calories. It is lower than your actual maintenance probably, and it's definitely lower than your old maintenance, but it's closer to your true maintenance than adding 100 calories every week from the jump. Weight gain will happen. We can't get away from that. It is normal and it is okay. It's part of the process. Be okay with it. Reverse dieting isn't for fat loss. So remember that when somebody comes to you as a coach or if a client comes to us as coaches and they say, I need to lose fat, I think I need to eat more. That is not what is going on right now. We are not going to feed you more and make you lose weight. If you lose fat on a reverse diet, there's something called adaptive thermogenesis going on in the reverse. So just like you started moving less during the diet, as you're decreasing calories and your energy availability gets lower, you move less, you talk less, you fidget less, your NEAT just drops, period. Your mass drops. When you start reversing, you get more energy coming in. You're probably taking more steps. You're probably sleeping better. You're probably blinking more, talking more, chewing faster, moving your hands more. You are more active as a human individual every single day. And because of that, you increase your energy expenditure. So when we increase calories and somebody loses weight, it's because there's a direct effect of energy going out because more energy is coming in. These are hyper responders and they do really well with a reverse diet, and that's great. But the purpose of a reverse diet is not fat loss. The purpose of a reverse diet is hormonal restoration. It's improving your biofeedback and getting you back to maintenance or a baseline so you can move on to the next goal. Your NEAT, sleep, and volume will increase naturally. So like I just said, you're probably going to be sleeping better. You're going to be moving more in general, which is going to cause more energy expenditure. But you might want to take this opportunity to increase your volume in the gym as well. You are taking more calories in. Use them in the gym. Go a little bit harder. Increase volume. It's going to help manage the weight gain during the reverse, and it feels good to train hard. You're taking more calories in. Use those in the gym. Last but not least, a reverse diet is really just a transitional diet. So a reverse diet isn't an infinite process. It isn't a diet itself. It's literally just a transition or a bridge to get you from fat loss goal to maintenance. And after maintenance, you are in a place where you can reassess and then choose your next goal, whether that is performance or gaining some muscle or weight, or it's fat loss again in the future. But nonetheless, this reverse diet process is really just a bridge. It takes you from the post-diet phase to the maintenance phase, which is where you can reassess, figure out where you're at, and then set a new goal to go.